Hey guys, Kay here. Today I'm interviewing Juanita Sims with Work-Life Balance VA here at Alabaster Nutrition. And you guys are, if you're from Alabaster, please come and check them out. They have delicious smoothies and teas, and also they have different protein bars. Very, very good. So let's jump into it. Juanita, what does Work-Life Balance VA do?
Well, we help female entrepreneurs and women in general achieve their goals, impact their world, and make time for self-care.
How did you become a virtual assistant and a goal setting and accountability coach?
Well, I became a virtual assistant quite like how a lot of women do, and that I needed some flexibility for my family, and I just relied on the experiences that I garnered in the corporate world. I was always great with administrative things and I could talk to people. So I just kind of put all that together and took on a position as a virtual assistant with a client that I've been with now for about 6 years, and that's how it started. So basically it happened out of necessity. I became a goals and accountability coach because that's just a part of me. I've always done that with my clients in trying to help them to be the most effective in the areas in which they work. I always go and ask them those pertinent questions. Are we on track with our goals? How do we get on track with our goals? How are we going to make sure that we can achieve this in the time frame we have? So I've always been very good at asking those questions. And with the pandemic, it became clear that I needed to pivot my business. I prayed about it, and that's what God opened the door for me to do, is that to do those things that I already been doing.
How has the choice of becoming a virtual assistant impacted your life?
Well, first of all, it was flexibility. As being a single mom, I needed the flexibility to be able to take care of the needs my son had, and to be able to earn a living to take care of all of his other needs as well. And relying upon my experiences and my background and becoming a virtual assistant afforded me that opportunity to not only give him a life, but to also be a part of his life.
How do I know if I need an accountability coach?
Well, your life is going to tell you whether or not you need an accountability coach. If you are always dreaming of those things that you want to achieve and those goals you want to reach, if you only had time to do them, then you need an accountability coach. You need to learn how to direct your time so that you are using the time that you have in the best possible way so that it is going where you need it to go.
How would your company be able to help me get myself back on track?
Well, first thing that we do is we set up a initial consultation, and we kind of talk about those things that are important to you. And then out of that, we'll pull out the beginnings of setting up goals for you. And so for being a mom of 3 boys, and I know you have your own business, and you want to be able to give everything you can to those things as well as not losing yourself in the process. So a couple of things that I would suggest as goals for you, because I actually know you, would be one, we would set a goal for you to show up in your company and run your company well. Another would be to make sure that your sons have everything that they need, and we figure out the steps for that. Another goal would be for you to be able to to grow your business. And the final really big one is for you to be able to have that self-care time without feeling guilty about it. Because let's face it, a lot of moms have that mom guilt when we are focusing on anything other than taking care of our families. So those will be some of the goals that we will probably set up for you. And then we will set up accountability sessions, and we will start to redirecting your time so that those moments in the day that you are spending on doing different things, you're making sure that those moments are actually moving towards one of those goals.
So if I wanted to become a virtual assistant, how would I go about doing that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. There is another session of our virtual assistant training program starting in October. It's a 10-week program, and it goes through things like your mindset, preparing for your customer, preparing your customer for you, and things like that. Those things that are more of the softer skills, but definitely necessary, and those things that I wish that I'd known about when I started as a virtual assistant. I really want to help virtual assistants to not fall into some of the pitfalls that I fell into when I began the business.
Okay, so what are some encouraging words that you can give to someone that has gone through your training and that is now stepping out, being their own boss and becoming a virtual assistant?
Well, the one that you'll probably hear me say most often is, you can do it, and you can have it all.
So how can we follow you?
Well, Work-Life Balance VA. That's my website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest.